Now before we get started, I want to make it clear that we love both the DC and Marvel Cinematic Universes. Yes, cinematic universes, because that's what we're going to talk about, the movies, and seldom if not at all about the comics.
So what's the point of this video to rise into existence? Because I wanted to, of course. I mean, because we've noticed an awful amount of hate going against the DCEU, when in truth it doesn't really deserve it. Let's make this clear. It is in fact okay to dislike their movies. Your opinions are yours. But this video is to simply defend the DCU and do it justice. Pun intended.
Most important of all, these are our opinions and kind of our way of saying why we enjoy their films and whatnot. Now, let's get started. Number 1. This one's simple. They're entertaining films. In both Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, I was entertained from start to finish. It would be a complete and utter lie if I said that the action in these movies were terrible. It would be another lie if I said that I wasn't intrigued by the story and characters. But yeah, I'll keep this point short since it's such a simple one.
Number 2. The DCU is different. What do we mean by this? Okay, look. I love the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but that doesn't mean I want every other comic universe to be that way. It's like I love burgers, but I don't want my pizza to taste like burgers too. So don't get mad at DC for not being the same as Marvel. They're different, and I really want to keep them that way. It feels more unique, and it's like we have two options in our cinematic universes.
Yeah, like have you ever played a fighting game where there's two different characters that play exactly the same? Yeah, who else hates that? It's a waste of character slots. So let DC be different and dark if it wants. I actually like the sense of a different taste. I hear now that Justice League is gonna have a bit more of a lighter tone, but I just hope it doesn't go as light as Marvel. Let Marvel be the light one. I'm fine with DC being lighter, but I just hope it's not to the point of copying Marvel. I want them both to have their individual personalities.
Number 3. I know I don't hear this much from casual fans and whatever, but people still always bring this up. The Order. You know how Marvel had to introduce each of their Avengers characters through a whole movie before the actual Avengers? People get mad because DC is getting a Justice League movie before introducing each character in their own standalone films. You know, I get that up to a point. You kind of have to set up characters for something like that, but at the same time, you don't exactly need whole movies for each character in order to do that.
Seriously, you can establish things like that in the very film itself. I mean, look at The Incredibles, an origin movie about a group of heroes that band together to save the day. It had no previous movies to set up the characters, it just did it within the one film. So you don't have to go through the same order and stuff as Marvel. I actually think it's ballsy in taking a risk for not following in the footsteps of a successful franchise. Like taking a test beside a straight B student with the chance to copy their answers and saying, "No, I can do this my way." I just do hope that DC does get it right, and I do believe it's possible.
4. Now, I'm not a complete fanboy. Well, just a little bit. I do indeed notice the flaws in the movie so far, but seeing flaws and not understanding a movie are not the same. Man of Steel and BVS are far from bad movies, no matter what people say. They do have their flaws, but all movies do.
Except for Nacho Libre.
Seeing how Zack Snyder directed both Man of Steel and BVS, I feel he's a very, very misunderstood director, and I can see why people misunderstand the DCEU's movies and end up saying they're bad, when they're not.
But we're planning on doing Zack Snyder justice in a separate video later on. For this point, we just wanted to say we see the flaws, but there's nowhere near enough to call these movies bad. Number 5. I don't hate Marvel, but seriously, don't act like Marvel is perfect. I mean, I personally like most of their films, but in many people's eyes, movies like The Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2 and 3, Thor and Thor 2, even surprisingly Age of Ultron and Captain America the First Avengers, are either meh or bad. That's like half of their movies.
So yeah, Marvel isn't so innocent in the disappointment department. So don't hate DC for its bad reviews on its second movie, when Marvel's second was The Incredible Hulk. DC is just starting. Don't be a bully to the new kid in school, and they may prove to be greatness later on. These are our thoughts on the DCEU so far and why they don't deserve the massive hate that they're getting.
And we're not bashing on Marvel either, because we love both their cinematic universes.
Is that even possible?
Yes, it is. And we're not saying that you have to like both. If you don't like DC's grittiness and darkness, that's fine.
If you have no attraction to Marvel's lighter tone and comedy, that's your opinion. We're just stating ours, and in our opinion, we have two amazing comic book movie franchises, and we think that's pretty cool.
But seriously, it'll be so freaking badass if for some miracle we got a Justice League vs. Avengers movie.
We hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to like, share, and subscribe.
Also, tell us your thoughts on these two movie franchises down in the comments below. And be sure to check out our other videos.
See you guys next time. If you guys can't see this, we have our thumbs up.